Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have what is probably the most exciting unboxing that I've done, at least this year, about to happen. I am incredibly stoked. I'm actually not able to even share this until after this knife goes live, but in the meantime, I want to start carrying it, taking pictures of it, and getting ready to do my first impressions, which should actually be the video that goes live when this drop happens. But in this box, I have the River's Edge Cutlery Paramilitary 2 exclusive, the RECPM2, which has been long awaited. You may remember, if you've gone back that far, or if you happen to be one of the few people who's one of my very early subscribers, one of the first knives I ever reviewed was this, the River's Edge Cutlery exclusive Scorpion PM2 in CPM10V blade steel. Now, when River's Edge Cutlery came out with the RECPM2 a couple of years ago now, I wanted one so bad. It was actually going to be the first exclusive Spyderco that I ever purchased, and I wasn't able to get one. That drop was a little bit dramatic. If you were involved with it, you probably remember. But I wasn't able to get one, and I was a little bit bummed. I was kind of salty for a while. I just wanted one of those so bad. And since that time, the RECPM2 has probably become the most sought after Spyderco exclusive on the secondary market. I've seen them go for over $600. It's insane. I would never pay that much for one. It's not a knife that's worth that sum of money to me, so I'll probably never own a RECPM2. But the PM2, I think in a lot of ways I actually prefer to the Para 3, and this one is the exact same spec, just in a PM2, and it has been long awaited, and it's finally here. So let's check it out together. In here we have the knife and the exclusive paperwork and the regular paperwork, and that is it. In the baggie, PM2s still always ship with the clip in the tip down position, so that is going to get switched right away. I think I'm actually going to put, for now, the MXG clip that I've had on my Tanto PM2 onto this one, and I've got plans for another clip that just might take a little while, but I'm going to be getting a very specific clip for this knife. I just have to be a little bit patient for it. But first things first, this knife looks absolutely, I mean, it's what I've wanted for so long. If you might have noticed, it's not uncommon at all for me to wear colors like OD green or flat dark earth. Like my favorite pair of pants that I wear way too often is OD green. I wear a lot of this color palette, and black with the hardware. It is, in my opinion, the coolest color-wise spec that a PM2 or Para 3 or any Spyderco has come in. I love this color palette, and so the fact that I can have it on a PM2 now is so awesome. And it's CTS 204P blade steel, which I've had a lot of 20CV, a lot of M390. I was thinking about it last night. I don't believe I've owned any knife in 204P, which is funny because it's like the other of those three steels that are essentially equivalent. I've just never had one for one reason or another. So this will be, I think, if I'm not mistaken, my first knife in 204P. Yes. Even the Spyderco logo and all of the wording that is on the side of this knife is flat dark earth. This is also the only PM2 with PVD coated blade. There are quite a few DLC, but this is the only one PVD coated. That, frankly, is why it took extra time to be ready. If you haven't read about that, Spyderco was having big issues with whoever they were having do this PVD coating, and it had to go back several times. This batch of knives, it took quite a few tries to get the PVD just right, but it sure looks just right to me. My goodness, this is awesome. The edge looks fantastic. Bevels are even. Yeah, side to side, everything is perfect. It's a little bit tight, This is about exactly the same, actually, now that I think of it, of how my Scorpion came out of the box. I feel like most coated PM2s and Para 3s that I've gotten out of the box have just a little bit of resistance. So I may sprinkle the tiniest bit of KPL in there to just kind of assist that. I don't think I'm going to adjust this pivot. This feels like the type of action that is just brand new out of the box, and once I play with this for a whole day, it's going to be broken in. But my goodness, this just looks absolutely fantastic. I've wanted basically this knife for so long now, and the fact that it's real and I'm holding one is just, it's really, really exciting to me. I think this knife looks perfect, and this is going to be an absolute forever PM2 for me. It's funny, the Scorpion in 10V is also a forever PM2. I've been open about that since I got this knife, that this one is just going to be my PM2. I use this knife hard. I have no reservations about using this knife for anything I need to use a knife for, and it's been great for me to have a PM2 in a spec that I love, and a steel that is arguably, in my opinion, probably the best one they offer for the PM2 and the way I use it, and then now to have an additional one that is in 204p and looks like this does. It's just, these will both be forever user PM2s, and in my opinion they are the two best versions of this knife that ever have come out, up to this time at least, and they both come from River's Edge Cutlery, who is my favorite retailer. They're fantastic guys, and they also sent, I forgot to show you, this for the Avocado PM2. Really, really cool that you get this. It's I assume, one-off sticker that you're only going to be able to get when you get one of these PM2s. So it just says 2020 RECPM2, and they're the coolest guys over there. They're fantastic people to work with. They're so nice. Their customer service is awesome. They ship fast. They're just absolutely great. So I appreciate them sending this to me just the littlest bit early so that I could make some content for you guys to see when it does launch. And I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people very, very excited about this knife. Man, it is awesome. If I were to spec a PM2 myself, if they had like an online configurator and I could just build one, this would be the exact color palette that I would pick, and 204p is a fantastic blade steel. So there's nothing about this knife that doesn't excite me as far as PM2s go. So I'm going to go ahead and put a deep carry clip on this in the proper position, and I'm going to begin carrying it. You probably won't see this video of this knife first. I'll probably post this unboxing after I've posted my first impressions, just because when this knife goes live, I think the most important video to get up will be the first impressions, where I talk about it a little more in depth than I am here in this unboxing. And yeah, that's going to kind of be the way I'm going to do it, I think. I won't have time to get to a full review on it, although my first impressions, by the time that it goes live, I have a lot of experience with the PM2, so it's basically going to be kind of a full review. I don't know, we'll see how that all goes, but you'll probably see this after my first impressions, just based on timeline of events, because right now we're only a couple days away from the drop on this guy, and I want to make sure that I've got a cool video for people to see of this knife, possibly even in action, by the time that it goes live for people to buy. Anyway, thank you so much for checking it out with me, guys. This thing is freaking unreal. I am so stoked. It is the coolest looking PM2, in my opinion, that there ever has been, and I am beyond pumped that I've got one. So thank you to the guys over at River's Edge Cutlery, and look forward to talking to you pretty soon.